Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Faux Show. Today is Wednesday, September 12th. My name is Angela.
And my name is Chris.
As most of you know, The Faux Show is not a real show. It is a social experience because I don't look at you. I look at the chat which I have here on my iPad.
I've got a full screen on my screen.
It's over there on a monitor where we can see ourselves, and then I have it over here, too.
Yeah, who cares? It is contained within the best lower third on the internet right here. What we've done is we've specifically crafted technology that will condense an awesome lower third contained right there. Boom! And, conveniently, hides our beverages.
Not so much with mine because it's so tall, but
well, there's a lot of alcohol in that
bear
glass.
with me. Almost a bottle.
But thank you to the lower third who has joined us. They are the JBLive.tv chat room. We do the Faux Show live Wednesday evenings over at JBLive.tv. Go to JupiterBroadcasting.com/calendar to get the live time, but it's that is 8 p.m. Pacific. Man, do we have a fun show tonight.
Oh my gosh, it's packed. So it's the award show night.
Award show!
Woo! How did you find Jupiter Broadcasting is what we asked you a month ago at the end of the last award show, which I've been doing monthly for, gosh, I think almost 2 years or even more.
Yeah. And these are a lot of fun.
Yeah, for 100 and whatever episodes.
And we've recently decided to class them up a bit. You see, we have our fancier background, and we are dressed fancier for the occasion. For those of you on the audio stream, picture us just looking very dashing. And if you pay very close attention to this week's episode, your efforts will be rewarded because we'll be announcing, not giving away, but we'll be announcing a very special contest, and the winner will have to answer a trivia question from this week's episode of The Faux Show. But stay tuned for details. We'll give you the details at the end of this week's episode. Just my advice to you is pay close attention because it'll be something from this episode, and then you will qualify. Can we tell them what they'll get? Or do you want to wait? Let's wait. Let's wait. Okay. But you're going to get something really cool in real life.
And let me just clarify. When he says the end of this week's episode, that's the one we're recording right now.
Right now. So. Yeah, so just stay. All you got to do is just keep watching, and we'll tell you the word. Just pay close attention. Now, before we get rolling, we have some fun news. Really exciting. Now, you might be familiar with Rikai, who's in our IRC chat room right now. He's there for most of our live shows. Longtime fan of the Jupiter Broadcasting Network. Well, he created these extensions that we use, and this is how most of our audience supports Jupiter Broadcasting, by shopping at sites like Amazon and Newegg and ThinkGeek or Best Buy or Audible.com or Code School, and they click on our links before they shop, and a portion of their shopping session is contributed to Jupiter Broadcasting. Well, then he created these browser extensions for us, right? And these are awesome, and most of you out there going out there to watch the Faux Show, you get these extensions for us, and we really appreciate that because then your shopping sessions are just automatically tagged to support Jupiter Broadcasting. Rikai just took it a step further, and this is awesome. He has posted the extensions on GitHub. If you're a coder and you want to dig into these things and think about what this means, an audience member has created the infrastructure in which is pretty much sustaining the entire network. And now you, as an audience member, not only can you use the extensions to help contribute to us, but you can also participate in these plugins yourself. And even if you're not a coder, you can go there and submit if you find a problem or if you have a suggestion you want to make. All of it's up on GitHub now.
Is that what that's about?
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
I had no idea. I don't know. He told me today, and I was like, okay.
You're like, cool, GitHub, right? No, that's
so
great.
You posted it to a social site,
so
Rikai.
now there's a place for people to keep track.
Okay.
It's one central place for bugs, one central place for feature requests, one central place for collaborative development. It's very exciting, and it's a very organic way for people to support this network. Check it out. We'll have a link in the show notes.
Yep. Okay.
All right, should we get to the award show?
Here we go.
All right.
How did you find Jupiter Broadcasting? Now, let me just tell you. Oh my gosh, this took me forever.
You guys, can I tell them? As a husband, it was been difficult on me because I lost my wife this week. I lost my wife to this episode.
No. Okay, but you didn't lose your because the wife had the kids.
Well,
okay. Well, anyway, so many submissions. For the first time ever.
Yeah.
I have done group submissions. Group awards.
Tell me about this. So you had so many submissions, you had to group them together. So
yeah, and it was so hard. And I want to thank Crash Bandicoot for hanging out with me while I got through it all, because without him, I would not have been able to stay focused and actually get this done.
And you mean by hangout, you actually mean a hangout?
Yeah, literally a G+ hangout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but it worked because then I didn't check my social networks, and he looked up like what year certain things were so that I could figure out how long ago people.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I'm certainly not helping. I got other things to do.
Yeah. No, I can't rely on this guy.
All right. So where do
Okay.
we start?
All right. So the first award goes to all these people
YouTubing
that are
across the
YouTubing-
universe.
Yeah, YouTubing across the universe. Okay, so the first award is for people that YouTubed and found stoked.
Oh, this has got to be a lot of people.
Okay, it is.
So
and
these
now,
are people that were on YouTube searching for Star Trek online.
yes,
Okay, and they found us.
somehow, yeah. Now, quite a few people left out some details, so some people's names might be in the wrong place.
Okay, all
okay,
right.
but just bear with me because I went with what I had.
They won't know. Shh,
Okay,
don't
well-
say anything.
Okay, well, so here we go.
All right.
So this is the first the people that found stoked through YouTube, and then how long they have been watching us.
All right. So I see you have it
Which is
broken out
really
into
cool.
1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, forever, and unknown.
Yep. And unknown just means that they didn't provide enough information for me to gauge when it was that they started.
And Cat in the Engine, live update, Cat in the Engine says that's how he found us, is through Stoked.
Yeah, well that's Cat in the Engine's name right there.
All right. So we have 1 to 2 years. We have a good group of people.
Yep, we've got Jukesman, Kazi B, Sean, and Corliss. And then, and just for clarifications, Sean there is not Peregrine Falcon. It's a different Sean.
Okay. All right.
He's on a different slide. Then for 2 to 3 years, we have Murphy, Harry Young 1990, Cat in the Engine, Mario, Stowe Fan. And then forever, we have Kentucky. And unknown, we have Databyte. All right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Okay.
Our well, it looks like we're okay though, but I think we maybe had like a little power outage here at the studio.
Yeah.
But everything seems. I'll double check. Everything's okay while you keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cat in the Engine says, I didn't even know I applied for an award. I haven't won since the very first faux show. That's a lie. You've applied for more than that. All right. So here's a couple emails. I just chose a couple emails to go through, but Murphy, of course, is our favorite.
There's Murphy.
He's one of my favorites.
Murphy. Now, for those of you who don't know, because we don't always cover this, Murphy has been primarily involved with our Star Trek Online show, but he's been around for a while now. He's an active member in our Jupiter Force fleet. He's an active member in the Star Trek Online Foundry.
And I'm sure he'll hate that I'll mention this, but he was, and I say was, our youngest viewer.
He was. But that was a
And-
few years ago.
It was. He's growing up.
Yeah. And he
My
made me a
little
shirt,
Murphy's
which
growing
is cool.
up.
He made me a shirt.
Yes, he
Yeah.
made you a
And
shirt,
jamming.
and yeah.
Yeah.
And he wrote us a letter
Yeah,
from
a
school.
very great letter. Yeah, very touching letter, which was nice to hear because you don't always know how the content that you create affects people's lives or how
Oh.
they use it to occupy time or what they in what setting that they receive it in, and every now and then we get a little glimpse. And this episode's been a little bit of that too. And it's sort of rewarding
Oh,
for us
man.
because we're kind of detached from the end result. We put it out there and we don't even really know what happens.
He turns 18 in January. That's so crazy.
All right, so what do we got here?
Okay. He said, so I found Jupiter Broadcasting when looking at reviews for Star Trek Online when I was trying to decide if I wanted to buy the game when I watched a Stoked episode where the excitement between Chris and Jeremy got me to buy the game. About a month later, when I started to want to get the game news as I played frequently, I watched Stoked every week and then really started to follow the JB shows after I applied and joined Jupiter Force after a great live gameplay show. Now I stick around and watch the faux show, woo,
Whoop, whoop.
which is the last original JB show around since when I started watching JB that
Wait
I got
a
into,
minute,
that
that's-
he got into.
But he watches Unfiltered.
He doesn't watch original show from when he started.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a great show just because it's about anything and everything. So that's what Murphy says.
There you go. I hope people, as people watch this, they see, like, one of the great things I think about Jupiter Broadcasting is people can, if they want, can really become a part of a community and will learn who they are.
No,
and others will
there
learn
are
who they
so
are.
many people that say they love this community. It is such a big
That's
community,
awesome.
and everybody knows everybody, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Harry Young, who goes by Harry Young 1990 in IRC, says, I'll tell you right away that I can't pinpoint my entrance into the JB world to one specific episode. However, it must have been Stoked and sometime in between episodes 90 and 95, as I clearly remember that intro made Jeremy a little uncomfortable. And what he's talking about, if you go to crashbandicoot.com.
Really? There's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell his crash.
Oh, CR.
Whoa.
Too fast?
Well, no, you could just type it. If you're going to
Oh,
tell
there
me,
you
you
go.
can just type it over there.
You forgot the CT.
Whoa.
No, CT.
I got it.
No, you didn't. You need the C. DCT. After the D, put a C.
I'm working on it.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
Wow.
I started watching
Wow,
last.
look at that. Look what Google does. Google says, "Did you mean Crash Bandicoot?"
Yeah, I know, right?
And he gives me crap for calling him Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
But there,
No, he doesn't.
he gives me a hard time calling him Crash Bandicoot, but Google says, "Did you mean Crash Bandicoot?"
Okay. Well, his website doesn't
Anyways,
show up there.
if you want to show it, you can bring it on your computer. Otherwise, we won't.
All
show
right. Okay, that's fine. You can just copy what's in your
it. Huh?
Google search
I'm sorry, I don't understand
and
how
put a
computers work.
.com after it.
No. Wait,
there.
copy and paste? How does
All
that
right.
work?
So anyway, he says, "P.S. I'm 22."
CrashBandicoot.com redirects to a site that I fully support.
This is the intro that Jeremy created, and that is when Harry Young 1990 started watching.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I spent the time to go to that because, well, that's great.
So the chat room is everybody's saying what their ages are, which is kind of neat to see.
All right. Okay. Enough of that. So that's you can search for Tweet Leaks Extended if for some reason you'd want to see that.
Or maybe we'll put it in the show notes. Okay. He says, "I'm 22 as of March 9th. You can now you can safely render out where the 1990 comes from. As for why I once had the Harry Young nick, however, while setting up LastPass after watching the related episode of In Depth Look, I somehow fried the password to that nick and I was too lazy to recover it.
I remember
It should be
that.
free by now. However, this time I'm too lazy to change it back."
I was in the chat room the day that he had that
Yeah,
problem.
it's
That's funny.
so funny. Yeah.
It is funny. It is funny because but LastPass is great.
All right.
All right.
Two more quick
Two more for Stoked?
emails.
All right.
Yep. Mario writes, "When I first read an article about a show called Stoked, I remember it saying that it wasn't their favorite and that it wasn't too hot on content and that you really had to like the characters on the show to get anything out of it.
What?
Needless to say, I gave it a shot but thought it was a mixed bag.
Well, thank you. Wait, what?
I liked the content and the production quality a lot, but wasn't so sure about the hosts, especially that Brian character. Now, if you recall, Stoked started with Brian in it. It was Brian, Chris, and Jeremy. Anyway, he continues to say, he was constantly interjecting negative comments, cutting off his fellow co-hosts while adding nothing of value to the conversation.
Well, I won't disagree with any of that. He did constantly cut us off. He did constantly interject, but looking back at it, he wasn't necessarily wrong.
Okay, so then he continues to say, "To my great surprise, I discovered weeks later that his style, oddly, really seemed to work for Last.
Yeah.
I noticed the faux show when it became a proper addition to the JB site, but at first thought not a real show couldn't be that good. What got me to watch it regularly were the episodes on Minecraft and bacon."
Really? Bacon got him
Right?
hooked. Minecraft and bacon. Wow, that's a
Yeah.
funny combo. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a great comment. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and the final email from the Stoked category there of YouTubers. I had an almost unhealthy addiction for about 6 months to Star Trek Online and immersed myself with the game in every possible way. That brought me to Stoked. When I cut all ties with Stowe about the same time that Chris started to as well, I started looking around at what else Jupiter Broadcasting had to offer. I immediately fell in love with the faux show. Woo!
Whoa.
And even share it with my wife and daughter. Picture attached. Thanks for a great show, Databyte. And then he says, "P.S. I'm a PC user that has almost completely converted totally to Mac and love when you seem to torture your poor husband with it. Keep it up."
You know what's funny? I have
That
been
you love Macs and just nobody knows that.
right.
Okay.
That I secretly walk around all day in a Steve Jobs outfit. No, I think it's funny is how many people like anecdotally tell me that they watch the faux show with their significant other, which is really cool. It's really cool that I never thought of the faux show as being a show that would be like the geek guy generally finds us and then brings the girl in. Although not always, that's not always the case.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah, I've recruited quite a few women.
But speaking of not always the case, this one proves it right here. This next award.
Yeah, this one right here. She gets her own award tonight. I think she's the only one.
She deserves it.
My Bronwyn,
Broadwin,
formerly known FKA as
East Coast girl.
East Coast Girl. She's got the All By Yourself award.
All
She's the
by
only
yourself.
one that came, well, she's not the only one that came in during Computer Action Show, but she's the only one that YouTubed it for Computer Action Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, if I recall correctly, I caught the tag end of Computer Action Show, maybe the last few episodes, and the only reason I remember is because I felt so bad for Dylan and his health problems, being he had gastroesophageal reflux disease. He was going through all sorts of testing for it. Anyway, I'm not sure if I was even aware at the time you guys streamed your shows. Anyways, Chris and the gang totally sucked me in. And when she says gang, she means Jeremy.
Yeah.
The next show I found was Beers Tasty, and then I saw a picture of Jeremy, and of course, he is what made me hang around even more, and I'm glad I stuck around. Well, we're glad you stuck around,
What's
too.
funny about that is Bronwyn in there says that she didn't find us originally via the live stream. But
Right.
she is a live stream. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she only watches our stuff live. Mm-hmm. Now.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Good one.
Bronwyn, no, Dylan wasn't born around Casta Blasta. I know you sent that correction email, but he wasn't born yet. Casta
yeah,
Blasta
Casta Blasta
ended
was a long time
well
ago.
before Dylan was
a long time
born.
ago.
So unless that part was not right, but I think it is.
All right.
All
Next
right.
award.
Next award goes to all these people that run Linux.
Nice. All right.
All these people run Linux.
This is what I'm looking for.
They found us because they YouTubed for something related to Linux
Wait, all of these are still YouTube?
and found the Linux Action Show.
These are all YouTube still. These are people
As
found
far
us through
as
YouTube.
far as I could tell from their email, yes.
Jeez, no wonder we're on YouTube.
Look at that.
Wow.
Right?
Forever. I like the forever category.
All right. So new Balsamore, Frankie69, Mega Cactus, Rod Sir, Josh Strobel. They've all found us within the last year, and most of them within the last 6 months.
Josh Strobel literally got me to laugh out loud during yesterday's SciBite.
Josh Strobel almost made me kick him from the chat room this morning when he submitted.
Really?
Yeah, this morning.
Oh, because of the last minute submission.
Yeah. I was like,
If you watch SciBite, there's a spot where I literally lull, and then I stop and I give him credit because he said something super funny during the show. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was.
That
it was
is
good stuff.
funny.
So yeah, cool. All right, and
All
then
right.
the one in 2 years we have Muttershift, Christopher, Wolfamino, Crash. What? Wolframino. What? What are you laughing at?
Wolf Ramio.
Crash Bandicoot, Penguin Fred, Hans, and Manwich 2000.
Right? I love Manwich 2000 too. I know. All right. 2 to 3 years is Richard, the Real Awesome Sauce, Daxem, Leafon, Rotten Corpse, Gabe, Mamu, and Infinite Chaos.
Cool.
And then our forevers, we have Tech Fix, Rob Loach, Bilbo, Nivon, Mark, Zane12, and Tyler. And then people I wasn't able to quite tell when they came on was Nate, Yassine, Knox, Jereb H, and Tom, and Iset.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The Linux Action Show is
Huge.
coming on 6 years.
I
too,
know, it's
which is
so
crazy. That is just wild. And you know what? I'm very, 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 very happy to say that we are getting the most positive feedback the show has ever gotten.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying, they're loving the show. They're loving what we're doing. So that is really awesome. So hopefully these people that have been there on that list forever are sticking around. Mm-hmm. All right. Next award. Or is this emails?
Nogle,
All right.
Nogle, I did not miss you. You're under a different category. Don't worry, okay?
All right.
Snickers!
Now we have...
Okay. Emails. This is Iset. He says, all in this email on your screen. I was trolling around YouTube just searching for the word Linux because I didn't want to learn for my math exams.
he was bored and stoned.
Anyway, I found the Linux Action Show with Brian's awesome intro and I was instantly hooked by it. After a while, I more or less discovered the main site, Jupiter Broadcasting, and started to watch other shows like TechSnap, Faux Show, and Beers Tasty.
Good man.
So conclusion is, I failed my math exam, but that's okay. I have JB now.
I agree.
Anyway, the funny thing is that I have already watched one of Brian's Why Linux Sucks presentations on Linux Fest Northwest a couple years ago, but for some reason I didn't discover the rest. Maybe because the quality of those presentations were pretty bad. Well, that's true. So in order to keep this mail short, today I'm watching almost every show on JB.com, and I love it. Most of the time I consider it research. For example, Coder Radio and TechSnap.
Right on.
So,
Wait,
there we go.
where's Lass? Lass is research. Think about
Well, no,
those Linux stories you don't
That's
have to...
how he found us.
I know that. Shoot.
All right, so then the other one here is, oh crap. I don't know who wrote this one now.
Well, he says, as an Ubuntu fan, I was looking a few months ago on YouTube for tips and tricks. Fortunately, I found the Linux Action Show. After a few episodes, I was so excited that I wanted to see more of Jupiter Broadcasting, and so I discovered the Faux Show. In the meantime, I looked at all the available shows, and I'm a big fan of these two shows. Chris and Angela, I look forward to many interesting and educational fun-filled hours with you. Well, cool. Although, go check out TechSnap, Coder Radio, and Unfiltered. Seriously.
Yeah. All right, another email from Crash Bandicoot. He says, I was looking for a Linux podcast that wasn't garbage.
Okay. Fair.
When you are looking for this, eventually you stumble across JB. No, when he's looking for something that's not garbage. But
I know.
But he phrased it perfectly. That's how I read it. I even read it that way just now.
No,
Okay.
I read it as so basically, if your criteria is not a garbage Linux podcast, you kind of have to end up at Jupiter Broadcasting, which I kind of love that.
Okay. All right. I started watching regularly when they did the Arch Linux review in season 14, episode 3 of last.
Wow. Okay.
I started hanging out in the chat room around Fosho 61, and the rest, as they say, is history.
There you go.
Nearly a year later, the 6 shows a week are part of my regular schedule. I've even adjusted my sleep schedule around them since... What?
Good man.
Since the times can be a little kooky on the other side of the world. He's in winter right now because he's not only below the equator, but he's on the other half of it or whatever. Anyway, you guys have influenced my life for the better in so many ways, so I wanted to give you a huge thank you to everyone who puts in all the hard work to make my week a little more enjoyable and fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Crash, thank you. I mean, come on. Crash is always hanging out and around. Always a great contributor to the chat room, too.
Yep. All right.
All right.
One more email for the Linux Action Show YouTuber.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I started to do some research about folding at home for the PS3. There was a lot of buzz around it because of the PS3's ultra-powerful and face-melting CPU. So I jumped on the YouTubes and watched a couple of non-memorable videos. At the end of one of those YouTube suggested a couple of videos. One of the videos had a funny-looking neckbeard guy with a magnificent and glorious head of hair installing Linux on a PS3. Naturally, I had to take a look. I watched all the PS3 Linux videos, then saw he had a Linux Action Show. I watched a couple of those, but they were very dated, and I didn't really bother to check if new stuff was rolling in. So I had a pleasurable experience, but I was getting off topic and went back to researching folding at home for the PS3. A couple of months later, which, by the way, at least 15 to 20 people state that they saw us once, lost it, and then came back. A lot of them are stoked people. Okay. And a lot of them are last people.
You know, there is a marketing thing out there that says that you have to see something once or twice or 3 times, and if once, but then then you're like, oh, I got to check that out. So that makes sense, right? People find us and they find us again. That just means it takes it forever. I wish people just figured it out the first time. Save themselves some trouble.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so a couple months later, I find myself bored and trolling the Star Trek Online forums. I see a couple of guys here starting to do a show about Stowe, and the game wasn't even out.
We're crazy.
I was crazy excited for the game. They weren't sharing any real big info about the game, so Stoked became my Stowe fix. But while I'm watching the show, I get hit with a serious case of deja vu. I know that effing hair. I said to myself, but I didn't know from where. I stopped paying attention to the show and to let my mind race, trying to find the answer in the mysterious hair question. Was it a dream? Did I predict that hair? I had no clue until Chris plugged Lass. Then it struck me. I've seen these guys before. I've watched that hair in the past and forgot about it. I was so happy to find the channel again and be reunited with the hair. I subscribed and been a fan since. Too long didn't read. I found JB twice, once while searching YouTube for folding at home for the PS3 and on the Stowe forums.
Oh, man.
I love the faux show and really miss Stoked, Gabe. P.S. Sorry that this is so long. Feel free to edit or sum it up. Upon completion, I noticed that I ended up writing an effing book for you guys.
Well, you know what? The moral of the story is I should plug the shows more.
Right?
That's the moral of the
That's
story.
how they found you, yeah.
All right, great. Thank you, Gabe. That's a good submission.
All right.
All right, next awards go to...
Next award goes to all these people
who wanted to just know more.
Who wanted to know more.
All right, who's this?
In-depth.
Oh, in-depth look. Okay,
so these people searched and found an in-depth look video before they found Jupiter Broadcasting, the rest of us. So new is Nogel. See, I didn't forget you. And J. And then 1 to 2 years is Vasuda Prime. 2 to 3 years is Michael Kenny. And forever is Neil JJ77, who's in the chat room for the first live faux show right now. Guru Dude, Cammy the Herd, Syphus. I don't know if I said that right. And Dreams Void.
Wow, I recognize all those names, so that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Even Jay?
Well, okay. I don't recognize that particular letter, but
that letter.
You know, the in-depth look is the show that is like I have all these ideas that I want to get back to one of these days. So if I ever get enough time, I might bring that show back.
Now, I do have to say, Dreams Void technically didn't watch an in-depth look, and actually Syphus
Syphilis. Yeah, syphilis.
Not syphilis.
Yeah, syphilis.
No, that's a sexually transmitted disease.
Uh-huh.
No, it's anyway. They watched something that would have been an in-depth look had in-depth look been created. So Dreams Void found us.
What you talking about, girl?
Because he watched your review of the electronic picture frame holder.
That was like before I even had show names.
Right? And not only that, but then he just dropped it like it was hot and went to do something else and then found you again later. He's one of the like, found you again later.
He's like, I got my Kodak picture frame. What would you even search for? Jupiter Broadcasting? Did I even have Jupiter Broadcasting back then?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is awful. Oh, it was called an in-depth look, actually. Look at that.
Holy crap.
It was called an in-depth look. And see
wow.
See how I credited Brian even though he never did any of these? I'm such a nice guy. Look at those 50 pounds on me. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look how fat I am.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I've really lost a lot of weight.
When is that? Go back. What date? What's the date on that?
December 11th, 2008.
Holy crap.
The hair is still amazing, though.
Let me just tell you guys.
What were we going to say? Yeah. They don't hear it. They're not hearing it.
That impregnated me with Dylan.
Really? That's where you go?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
That's on
because
you.
Dylan,
that's on you. That was your bad.
Dylan was born in April 2009. Wow.
I know.
Let me just tell you, I've never broken a bone.
So for all of you who, what? Where are you going? You're saying, what were you saying? I mean, I think.
I'm saying you didn't crush me.
Wow. It still hurts a little bit. It hurts a little bit. And you know, what else is funny is you can see I have a light right off there to the right of the camera frame and a Brain Tonic. Remember Brain Tonic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to be a sponsor.
F them.
Yeah.
It's because they don't make any money.
Ooh, that was an unexpected excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a good personality back then as CJ. CJVA points out Cherub.
Yeah.
I had a good personality.
Wow. Okay.
Paleo, people. Paleo. Check it out.
Yeah, right? Seriously, I lost 20 pounds this year. I've gained like 10 back. No, not really. Okay.
I want a burger. Somebody feed me a burger. All right, what do you got?
Next award. So mean.
But to myself.
Past self, I want a burger.
But you know what? Actually, can we just say what this was? Is you and I decided that it'd be fun for our family to get like a certain set of our family a digital picture frame.
Yeah,
the idea was set.
Oh man, it was so expensive. We had to buy all of them wireless routers.
Well, we were ballers back then.
But that
was before people had wireless. So yeah, that's why there's. If you look in the shot, there's a digital picture camera frame.
Oh yeah, right there.
And the wireless G router.
Wireless G router. Yeah.
So if you think about it, this whole video I did around Christmas time, and I was like, here, look. Get family this digital picture frame. Get them this wireless G. They work together. And by the way,
I'm fat.
No, I was going to say that wireless G router is totally hackable. You can put DDWRT on that bish.
People can hack it?
Oh, it's a good route. No, not hack in a bad way. Hack in a good way.
You mean you can
You could replace the OS on
it. What's it called when you do that?
Root it?
Break it?
Jailbreak it?
Jailbreak it.
No,
yeah.
I don't mean that at all.
Oh.
But all right, next award goes to.
Okay, all these people.
You can get loud. Just so you know, I'm just saying.
That patch their shit.
Ooh, TechSnap viewers.
No. Yeah.
What?
Well, you know, it's a newer show. A lot of people came in before it. They got to see it start. So they already knew it.
Okay,
all right. We've got new, like within the last year, Creepy Uncle and Lydell for 1 to 2 years.
Okay. All right. Wow. TechSnap's that old? What? How old is TechSnap?
Yeah, it's over a year.
Hold the phone.
It's over a year.
Did I know that? I'm sure I must
It's like a year and a half now.
I'm sure we knew that, right?
Go to TechSnap and go to last page. All right,
well, we know that?
So Creepy Uncle says, late 2009, I was looking for a storage solution on my home network. I watched like 100 YouTube videos, and one of them where some guy who was comparing FreeNAS versus Drobo. I never used to check out people's channels back then, and it was about time I set on a business trip for 3 months and forgot all about it. About a year and 4 months business trip this time, I wanted to update my IP cop Linux machine to something else, mainly because IP cop 1.4 kernel was old, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to say that word anymore. Anyway, again, I went to the internets and found a couple of videos.
Wait, can I show you the
We
video?
found tech snaps.
Would you like to see the heavyweight champion of Jupiter Broadcasting reviewing the Drobo?
My goodness.
That's the heavyweight champ. And you know what's funny about that video is that is literally behind us right now.
Wow,
That is the
before
green-
that is pre-green screen.
Well, that is there. So the green screen sits in front of that table now where that hardware is. So behind us right now is that hardware.
Wow.
It's just, there's a green screen.
All right, well, so he found the ultimate home router and the best firewall ever, and both of those episodes were perfect for him. And then he says, /me looked over at the stack of old hard drives on the corner of my desk that have been there trying to find use for. Boom, I was hooked. P.S. I still haven't set up my replacement for the IP cop machine.
Oh,
So-
well,
Yeah.
there's no excuse for that because pfSense is the best firewall ever. But the TechSnap program has a lot of love for the pfSense firewall. All right.
All right, it's about to get really cool, just so you know.
Next award goes to.
All these people
That's weird.
that consume information. Check that out. Is
What
that
we got?
not the coolest freaking... Like,
What is this? Oh, so I
is
see,
that not cool?
I see Twit, Lifehacker, the Linux Link Tech Show. This Week in Linux and DistroWatch.
Those are all...
Sources of people that found
Yeah.
it? Now, where did we get on Twit?
Strengths says... I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
Wait, no, this isn't Strengths.
That's Tyler C., Angela.
It sure is.
Yeah. See, let's look.
right,
Heavyweight,
well,
heavyweight
so-
Chris says, what? What?
So Strengths said that he was in the Twit IRC when they said... when people were talking about how there wasn't a good Linux show out.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I've seen...
And so then he Googled Linux, and yeah.
I've been in the... I watch... I watch a couple of... I watch Twit, and I watch Windows Weekly, usually as I'm setting up TechSnap out here for like 15, 20 minutes. And a couple of times, Linux podcast has come up as a topic in the chat room, and people have mentioned Linux Action Show. So I just want to take a second, because this is the perfect episode to do it. Thank you to everybody who does that, because... you are our marketing department. So, the beer is everywhere. So thank you, everybody who, helps spread the good word about the Jupiter Broadcasting programs. What do you got there, Chief?
Well, Strengths just informed me that he's a forever because it's been over 4 years.
Oh, so that qualifies him?
Yep. So I just I'm just changing
Right now, while we do
Yes.
the show? Well,
Yep,
I think
there
I'll
we go.
clean up my beer spilling.
Okay, do that.
right.
So yeah, and then Ethail found us through Lifehacker. He's been a fan forever. Commander Suitcheck is new within the last year, and he came from the Linux Link Tech Show after Brian was interviewed on it.
Oh, yeah, he was interviewed for his software.
Yeah, and then This Week in Linux was Price TX, who mods our Xenodic and Minecraft servers. And
Price TX is awesome.
Wouter also found us from Twill. Basically, This Week in Linux, he got pulled down or whatever from YouTube
Yeah, and we...
and stopped doing shows for about a year. And when that happened, quite a few people came to the Linux Action Show.
Oh, I thought... So the backstory to that is... Jupiter Broadcasting had an issue with Google AdWords, and we are fortunate enough to have somebody who works at Google in the correct areas, and they took care of the situation for us. And I contacted that person and told them about This Week in Linux and said,
Oh, really?
maybe you could take care of them.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think they did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Cool.
so I believe Jordan gave us a shout out for that too. Because,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. The other thing is that if I remember correctly, Jordan played on our Jupiter Colony Minecraft server.
Oh yeah.
And that's how a couple of people found us too. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. And Pierre 4L found us through DistroWatch, which is cool.
Yeah, DistroWatch links to us from time to time, especially when we do reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right.
Next award, Angela.
No, next. This is an email from
Next email comes from.
Tyler C. I have been listening to JB shows for about 2 months, and I actually discovered Jupiter Broadcasting in a roundabout way. Brian Linduke was a special guest on a Linux Link Tech Show, and I started listening to Linux Action Show. Shortly after that, Coder Radio went live, and I was hooked. There were 2 episodes that hooked me: the Raspberry Pi review from Brian on LAS and Gateway to Programming on Coder Radio. I also listened to the Faux Show because of the funny awards you do. The two of you are so entertaining together, and very few significant others of tech show hosts get involved like I do.
Aww.
Chris is also a great host and does an excellent job at producing his shows. Great shows come from great hosts and great contents. Your shows have them both. So
Thank you, Tyler.
thank you for that.
Yeah, that's very nice. Next award.
Goes to all these people
Oh.
who know how to catch podcasts.
Smart people.
Right? All right.
All right, here we go. So these people found us through.
So interestingly enough, a lot of these people, I have no idea when they found us, but they found us through Miro, XBMC, Beyond Pod,
A great podcast client
and
for Android.
gpotter.net.
A great podcast client for Linux.
And one person found us through System 76, which is our sponsor, segment sponsor on Linux Action Show.
Yes.
Every week for like the last couple months.
And I'm a longtime customer.
Yeah.
So Miro is really cool. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's a great way to get video podcasts. XBMC. Now, probably everybody watching this show knows what XBMC is. If you don't, we've done some videos on it. It is a very, very good Xbox Media Center. Or, sorry, a very good media center. And it works on all kinds of platforms. And we have an application that was created for us that I believe Rob Loach made. I think.
Possibly.
Oh, gosh.
I know he's done stuff for us.
I might be getting that wrong.
I think he's in the chat room. So
It is a great app, and it's got all of our shows on demand. It's got the live stream on there. You've never seen it?
No.
The XBMC app is great. A lot of people have found us because of that. So if you use XBMC, go check that out. And Beyond Pod's great too, and so is GPotter. And
Ty the Geek is watching on XBMC.
hey, look at that!
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, and then M Hazel found us from System 76, sharing one of
Our videos,
like
on
one of
their
the
site.
first videos.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Shawl found us through Miro. TNT, DBT816, War Rasta, and Mike all found us through the XBMC.
Cool.
Pio Bear, who happens to live like 5 minutes away from us.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And he kind of has a name that sounds like Pedo Bear.
You mean pedo?
You know what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, he might pronounce it differently. I don't know. But anyway, he was the Beyond Potter, and then Mail Holler found us through the gpotter.net.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
all right. The next word goes to all these people
Boom.
for
Slurking.
SS Slurk. S-Slurk.
Slurking.
It's social site lurking.
Okay. I like that.
Okay? It's just a couple, and it's because these people specifically mentioned that they found us on these social sites. So I think it's AKA Joe T. So I will fix that live.
You really have to fix it live? Probably
There we
not.
go.
Nah, you don't gotta fix
I'm
that
fixing
right
it
now.
live.
Don't
Here I
need
go.
to. That's totally wasted time. And
No.
just,
Oh.
Now,
I changed the wrong
I
thing.
see Mark and I see Snow Rabbit on YouTube. Does that mean that they lurk on YouTube but aren't active participants in the YouTube community? Is that what that means?
No. It has nothing to do with whether they're active and...
Well, I wouldn't know. You're too busy editing that field instead of actually telling
I'm
me.
answering you right now, aren't I?
Well, perhaps we're just killing time until
There
you
we
can.
go.
Thank you,
All right.
OCD.
Mark and Snow Rabbit found us specifically by searching YouTube, but didn't say which show it was that they found. So otherwise, they would have been in the
Table flip.
in the Murphy's table flip. So this is where they are. And then Bob found us on G+.
Boom!
You, my friend, my husband, father of my child's children. You were recommended to him by G+ to become friends with
Well,
Bob.
thank you, G+.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that.
Next award goes
Yep.
to
Next word goes to all these people.
forums.
They're like
man.
forums.
Like forums, man.
Like the Stowe forums.
Wow.
These people specifically mentioned that they found us because of the Stowe forums, mostly centered around the Daniel Stahl interview when he became C
I'll be right back.
or something.
I gotta go record more episodes of Stoked. See
Yeah, no, right? All right, so Kraft, Murphy, STNet, Damon B, Text 2063 all came to us 2 to 3 years ago, and Peregrine Falcon found us
forever ago.
forever ago.
Which means 4+ years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, or 3+ years, yeah.
Father of my childs.
So there
All
we
right,
go.
mother of my childs. Next award goes to
All these people
No Awesome People.
that know awesome people.
That know awesome people.
All right.
I like you have Alan up there, and he's holding a gun.
I know, right?
You know
he
it's good.
is badass. There's Alan up there. Alan taught and teaches, probably still would if he could, or I mean, like
Teaches
if
via
he
the
was
internet.
asked.
Teaches via the
yes,
internet.
sure. But if he was asked to teach at the college again, he would.
No, I think he quit.
I know, but okay. Anyway, he was a college teacher.
Yeah, a professor.
Professor.
It's called.
Yes,
See,
I got it.
I'm a college expert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because you went.
You're right.
Okay. Jeff is one of his students. And offhandedly, Alan mentioned just after TechSnap started that he was doing a weekly podcast. And instead of studying, Jeff went ahead and searched for that said podcast.
Good man, Jeff.
And now has watched every single TechSnap. And I can't remember if it was Coder Radio or last, because seriously, I looked at so many submissions. But anyway, he's a big fan of our shows.
It's almost...
Except he spelled Alan's name with one L. Oops.
It's almost impossible to watch every episode of the Linux Action Show. Because every episode's online.
Since then.
Oh, okay.
Since then.
Well,
yeah.
every episode of the Linux Action Show is online if you really search, like archive.org, or you listen to Jupiter Radio. You'll hear it, but yeah, you can't. Yeah.
All right. And then we have Alan himself found us 2 to 3 years ago because of Mike Linux NL, who is one of our admins here in the chat room.
Yeah.
And he is the one that got us to move over to Geek Shed at all for our IRC needs.
That's true.
And Alan, I know, right? And Alan is like part owner of Geek Shed or something. Or anyway, he's really high up there. So his story I have in an email coming up. It's hilarious. All right, but let's finish this. Defrag was told by a friend to come here. 50-Fold Chris was told by his brother to come here. His brother's name is Scumchild.
Wow.
Geek Girl is new to us as of a couple weeks. She started running Linux because her boyfriend watches LAS and likes Linux and got her to run it. Yeah. and as soon as I did my Linux Action Faux, he got her hooked on the Faux show. So that's how she found us. And
Cool.
then Avatar Continuum was told by a stranger in Stowe. So.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Right? Mind
It's crazy how people
blown.
find us, and then they become these awesome members of the community.
Right?
Like, and how
I know.
random is it that Mike Linux NL would recommend that we'd move to Geek Shed, which would then we'd find Alan.
Well, let's hear how we found Alan. All right? Okay, I know the guys were around on IRC. Mike Linux NL had brought them to my IRC server from wherever they were before, but I had never paid much attention. One day, the chat room was really busy, which was unusual, so I jumped in to make sure no one was misbehaving, etc.
It was busy.
Some guy named Jeremy, who I'd never heard of before, asked what was the name of Captain Archer's dog.
Oh, that's
which
easy.
seemed like a silly question. Everyone knows the answer is Porthos.
Porthos.
So I answered. Suddenly, I was informed that I had won. I was very surprised, as I
Porthos.
did not know that it was a trivia contest underway. I had won a closed beta invite to Star Trek Online, a game I had heard about years earlier but never actually followed closely. Thanks to Jeremy and Chris giving me said invite, I wasted the following huge chunks of my life.
Uh-oh.
In 2010, 527 hours. In 2011, 747 hours. And in 2012, 24 hours.
Wow. Pretty dramatic drop-off in 2012, but,
Yeah, but
there are people
seriously.
that have not been alive as long as Alan has played stuff. Right?
Well, that's true. Yeah. That
yeah.
is, yeah.
That's something.
It's really funny.
Welcome?
Yeah. You're welcome. All right. This other email here is from Geek Girl. I kind of summarized her story. Basically, her boyfriend got her to watch us. And what's great is that he freaked out. He's not alive. He doesn't go in the chat room. But when you said her name live on Faux Show 104, he freaked out with the whole like celebrity feeling. So
Well, that is the fun aspect of the live chat room is we are actually watching it as we go.
and talking to you.
Yeah.
And getting your anyway. And then the other email is my future
gosh.
husband.
Crash Benedict says, well, you keep going.
Bandicoot.
Whatever.
What?
Well, he just says,
Whoa.
yeah, he says that's a grand,
54 days and 2 hours
Yeah.
is how many?
yeah, it's a grand total of, 54 days. That's intense. People play MMOs, by the way, which it turns out why I did shows about MMOs.
Linux King says Danica Patrick told him about JB over breakfast one morning.
Atta girl. Atta girl. Linux King, stay tuned. You have no idea what's coming. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just saying, Danica, Linux Action Show. Stay tuned. All right, what do you got?
All right, so 50-Fold Chris, as you guys all know from like the very first side project award show, which is probably like number 2 or 3 award show ever, he became my future husband.
Yeah, I remember that.
He says, I found Jupiter Broadcasting in the fall of 2008 because I wanted to switch from OS 10.3 to Linux, and my brother, Scumchild, in the chat room, recommended the Linux Action Show.
Okay.
But all I found on iTunes was this show called The Computer Action Show.
Oops.
But I already read that. I gave it a try anyway and have been listening and watching ever since, and I did switch over to Linux shortly thereafter with no regrets. The most memorable live moments from me were, number 1, when I stayed up super late for one of the beta episodes of Jupiter at Night, but it was canceled because Jeremy had fallen asleep.
Not my fault.
Number 2, when Jeremy burned down someone else's house in Minecraft.
That was great.
And number 3, when Lotso failed to record and had to be recovered from Justin TV.
That was stressful.
I guess those were all screw-ups, but I've enjoyed all the high-quality shows as well. No other broadcaster has the video, sound quality, and great content that you guys have, so keep it up.
Well, thank you. Video and sound are 2 very hard things to get good.
Yep, get good.
They are.
That sounds weird.
To get them gooder. That funny thing. So there was an episode that happened of Lotso, Legend of the Stoned Owl, where we lost a huge portion of the show, and we had to go back and get a super low res version of it.
Now, do you remember that
Jupiter Night?
That in Lotso, you wanted to do like the review sack?
Yeah, we had the review sack, sure.
Oh, you actually did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I never watched Lotso. So
yeah, we reached into the review sack. Why do you ask?
Well, because there's a clip, like an outtake that was highlighted on Justin TV when you guys like discovered the name of it.
The review sack?
You were like, yeah.
The Lotso was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. That was the one that we did in silhouettes. The lights were off, and all you could see was their shadows against the green screen.
All right, next award goes to...
All these people thought that Linux sucked?
All right.
They all found the Why Linux Sucks videos that Brian, the speeches that Brian has done at Linux Fest Northwest. He did one a couple years ago, and then he did one in April 2012
No, he's done one
this
for
year.
like the last 3 years or 2 years or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so just recently found us in the last year is Nicholas Dr. Kraz, not to be confused with Dr. Kaz. Okay?
Okay.
Note the spelling. All right. Christopher F. And then Mr. Badger 89 found us between 1 and 2 years ago. Byron T. and CJVA
who's live now
2 to 3 years ago. And then forever we've got Pure Cool. And then unknown is Slow Logic Boy. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And the Linux Sucks videos. Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, I think in the show notes or something of that, or in the description he put, and I also do LAS or whatever. So that's how they found us.
There you go.
That is all the awards.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I had to group them. I had to.
It's actually gone longer than you think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That was good, though. Grouping them was a good idea.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So there you go.
Well, anyway, so I guess the next thing we should do is mention that our monthly newsletter is 1 email per month of stuff that goes on here behind the scenes that we don't tell you about. Well, actually, if you watch the show, you almost hear a lot of it.
Although every now and then we sneak a couple of extra things in that
nuggets
are exclusive to the newsletter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So bit.ly/Jupiter Signal is how you sign up for that.
All right. There you go.
I think it might be time for the
Mail Sack! Mail Sack! The Jupiter Mail Sack.
This week's Mail Sack is just this.
6 of 9 writes, I love the potion! Thank you, 6 of 9.
I liked that one.
I like your nick a lot. And your boobies.
It's 7 of 9.
Oh, no. I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah. You don't know your Star Trek very well.
No, I've never actually seen Star Trek.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll have a bigger mail sack next week because, it'll all be backed up. No. Okay. I just chose that one because I knew the show was going to run long.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
It's a quick one. Yeah.
Next month,
October 10th, 2012, the award show. Have you decided what it's going to be?
I have
Okay.
Make a Meme.
Make a meme.
This is part 2, by the way.
Deuce. That means 2.
So choose any picture on the next screen. It'll also be on G+. As soon as I go upstairs, all I have to do is hit publish, and you will have access to the full-size versions of all 9 of these pictures.
We should put a link in the show notes too, Chief.
Yes, link in the show notes.
But you haven't even made a doc, so you gotta remember to do that.
Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com. Well, I don't have the link yet because I haven't posted them.
Oh, technical.
Right. But I didn't want to post them because I didn't want it to hide.
It's a surprise.
Okay. Choose any picture on the next screen or pictures. You can do multiple. And it'll also be on G+. To make a meme, submit up to 3. Oh, I meant to delete that part.
Submit. Oh, really? You're going to do that during the show too? Like, hey, you know what we like to do? Edit our presentation during the show.
That's weird. I wonder if I didn't close it.
Doop. Gonna make a change. There
It's centered. There we go. Okay,
Yep.
Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com. Here are the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It moved the box instead.
Right, because you wanted to edit it while you were doing the thing.
There we go.
Those are good pictures. I recognize those kids.
Yeah.
So you can take so the idea is the audience takes any one of these pictures, makes a meme picture using maybe even Quick Meme Generator,
Yep.
and then emails it into us
Right.
to Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com.
Yep. All right.
And they will find a link to the picture post in the show notes.
Yep.
Right? I think this is going to be fun. We've got some good faces to go. Whoa, that's you, and that's your boobies.
Yes. You took that picture.
Well,
All right. So this is one picture. And this is another.
that's Superman flying, and there better be
Yeah.
some good ones.
Yeah, seriously. And there's this one of the kids together.
Got to fix that engine.
And Dylan,
Superman and Batman dancing.
and Chris in his bathrobe pushing Abby in the
Really,
backyard.
Ange?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You're gonna really,
Right?
Ange?
Oh
Really?
man, when I'm not doing a show, I'm pushing my daughter in the backyard in my room.
Well, so that's in
Bonus
there.
points if you rhyme. All right, continuing with the pictures.
Wow.
There's this picture of Abby. She did not want to be dressed up in this, but of course, you could make your meme something else. Anyway, this is really funny because it looks like he disapproves of the people hugging there. Like they were ridiculously all over each other
These people were basically having sex on the beach, right?
on a kid's beach.
I mean,
There were kids there.
It
We
was-
were right there.
It was pretty hot. I went around the corner and had to jerk one off. All right, what do you got next?
Okay, and then there's this picture of Abby. You can see Chris there in the background.
Thanks.
But Abby's face is more the important part. And then there's this one this is a nugget. This is gold that I got the other day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is hilarious. I swear to God, she channels Chris Farley.
So,
What?
I feel,
Oh, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, that's the last one. So those are the pictures for this time.
And so the idea is, check out now. Do people in this audience do they know about QuickMeme.com? QuickMeme.com is a.
Let me stop you real quick. Don't leave. If you're leaving, you're failing because we're about to do a giveaway.
Oh yeah, the giveaway. Yeah, QuickMeme is a good way to generate memes, so you don't have to worry about having software on your computer. You just need the image, and then you can create the meme message, and then send them in to Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com.
Well, this is the giveaway.
Oh, well, all right. So there we go.
Okay, here we go. How many submissions were in tonight's show? Email Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com. We are going to send one person a Jupiter Broadcasting shirt.
That's right.
That person has to have the correct answer and has to email us.
The number of submissions
I know, but how soon in the next?
before the next week's show.
Before next week's show.
Yeah, because we're going to announce the winner in next week's show. Now,
Yeah.
that said, we will also we'll also have a trivia question in next week's episode of the Faux Show that will be exclusive to a live audience member. So we will give away the winner to this quiz. So if you noticed how many submissions we have, you can email them to Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com. But don't fret. we will also have a separate trivia question next week only for the live audience. So one email winner and one live audience winner is possible.
That didn't get any clearer from the first time that we talked about it. So let me tell you this.
Sorry.
Tonight's question, how many submissions were in tonight's show, is open to the live stream viewers and the downloaders. That's important to know. Next week, we'll let you know who from that pool of people that got the answer correct and emailed me. We'll let you know who we drew to get the shirt.
Right. We'll randomly select from that batch.
And then at the end of next week's show, we'll do a second one that is just for the live viewers.
Yeah,
and that means that if you download it normally, if you watch next week and you're live at the end of the show, you have the chance to win.
Yeah, so we're kind of letting you know a week ahead of time. If you're not normally a live viewer, you have a chance to tune in live. So the faux show is live on 8 p.m. Pacific. Do you know what that is in any other chat room? Will you put down the lower third, the time zone it's at in your area?
11 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
5 a.m. Netherlands.
Okay. 5 a.m. Netherlands time.
Let's see. 3 p.m. New Zealand.
Okay. It's 11 p.m. Eastern. It's 10 p.m. Central. And if you have an opportunity to tune in next week, you could win the live giveaway. So we'll be actually, at the end of next week's episode, we'll be giving away 2 shirts. One to a live audience and one to somebody who emails. Now, if you're a live audience and you email in, well, you have really good chances of winning.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's be honest here. So how many submissions were there in this week's episode of The Faux Show? Email them to Angela@JupiterBroadcasting.com. And if you watch this episode closely, it's not very hard to figure out.
Right.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Leaving it at that. All right, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Let me see if there's another slide. There's no more slide.
According to the ding, there's no more slide.
No more ding.
Okay.
I mean, no. Ding means no.
Ding means no, everyone. So you can tune in live, The Faux Show, Wednesday evenings. Go over to JupiterBroadcasting.com/calendar. And to get it in your area, we have a little time zone converter over there. Mm-hmm. And email Angela@JupiterBroadcasting.com with your submission if you want to win a Jupiter Broadcasting shirt.
Or a random email, because I like hearing from you, and I might include it in the mail sack.
That's true. That's true.
It'll be a bigger mail sack next week.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, that's it for this week's episode of The Faux Show. We will see you next week. That's a weird accent.
I like it.
Don't forget, you can catch recent episodes of The Faux Show on
JupiterBroadcasting.com/Faux Show.
Also, get them on demand in the iTunes store. Search for Faux Show.